my pen as my thoughts run on paper. My fist full of papers.
All right.
My life full of papers. That's all. To brag about abandonment and brokenness. Abandoned life and hopelessness. Dope boys, just broken kids. The only way.
What's going on, Troy? Troy Davis.
Bullet holes through residence. Baby called astray in an innocence. Life that you never see. Man, this ain't ever seen.
Andre.
Hourglass
Time that wasn't wisely spent. Why'd I spend my life so bent? Junkies were my closest friends. The Sheller.
My closest
Friend is was
unidentified.
unidentified. Look at my baby coming in. The only one. Forever. We're going to the grave. My wife Jamila. Hey Patricia. Hey Iris. Loose. Yup. Out the streets. Hey Shirley. Sleep. It's good. It's good, Troy. On my face. Sworn to race to black dawn. Hot this dream. What does this really mean? Almost in my sleep, so I don't. Till this day. All right. I played one of my songs. Black Dawn was an old song that I made. And in it, it was an expression of how dark some days can be. And and when I wrote that song, I think it was round about the time. It was right after Katrina, something round up in there. And it was a heavy time because it was a time where a lot of separation. And again, I want to thank God for my wife. I want to thank God for my baby Jamila Gooden, always supporting. And support is important, especially when you're a person of expression, because all the time your expression ain't gonna be welcome. It's not gonna be welcome all the time. But right now, like I was saying, the song Black Dawn that I just it's an old song, but the song speaks to me right now because it's a heavy, dark day. In the caption, I got a good black Christian. I want you right now, some of you ladies that are coming in, I know a lot of the men are at work right now. A lot of people are at work right now, but if you could, go ahead on and put their names up under there. What's going on, Chris, man? I know we couldn't get up, but it's all good, man. I'll be in town this week. But it was, I wanted to talk this morning because some stuff just hit me, man, and I want to say it the right way, because the one thing I don't want to do as a man of God, and again, this, if I haven't said it to some of you that might be coming on, what's going on, Nikki? This is Pastor Gooden, God's man on deck. That means something. God's man on deck. So, and the reason why I believe the Lord gave me that, because I'll never try to speak out of my own emotions and my feelings, but I got to tell the truth from my perspective. I can't help that because I'm only man. What's going on, Elder Deshaun? So, yeah, how do I want to start this? So I'm from Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida, and I saw a lot there. The reason the caption has to be a good black Christian, because I pastored there for years. And pastoring, when you're pastoring, you see more than you would normally see when you're just in the congregation. You experience more because of the people that you come in contact with, right? And some of the pastors, I knew pastors, for lack of a better way to say it and not trying to be offensive, they were white, right? I not only knew some of those pastors, but I knew a lot of the congregation, a lot of the guys that went there, black guys that went to these churches, because these churches were white pastors, but they had predominantly black congregations because of the way that they flowed. And I had never had any problem with that. And let me say this first, before somebody go to clicking, tagging, and sharing the wrong way. I want you to click, tag, and share, but I want you to click, tag, and share because I need to share this, not because I'm finna get ready to go on here and blast people's name out. I need to hear this, and I'm asking the Holy Spirit to let me say this from the right well, because everybody ain't gonna like it anyway. I'm gonna tell you right now. So there was arguments. There was people that people in the in the congregation where there was a white pastor in the black congregation, and the black people in that congregation would go back and forth with other people from all black congregation, black pastors and black congregations, and they would kind of like have these war of words, you know what I'm saying? And you know, there were black people that did say stuff that was offensive. They would say stuff like, you know, you on that plantation, or they called it a plantation mentality. I mean, there's some serious stuff right here that we talking about. And a lot of times, you know, because I knew those guys, because at that time, in gospel rap, some of those guys, they were from those churches that was doing gospel rap that was in that congregation. So I seen the hurt that comes from both sides. I seen it. And I never was one that tried to judge them because they were in the congregation that had a white pastor. I will say this: I didn't always like what I would hear some of the things that the pastor would say, as if they were saying it in a quote unquote urban fashion or a black fashion. I didn't like some of that stuff, but it wasn't my pastor, so I ain't really have to deal with it like that. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So let's fast forward to now. I experienced that. I saw that. I saw people following those congregations. I saw those people build those congregations. But this is what's getting me now. I'm seeing the same thing now, but it's now a broader perspective, because I'm not just seeing it from the seat that I used to be in. I'm seeing it a different way. And I'm wondering because, first of all, I preached a message that the healing must begin. The healing must begin. Hey, Vera, the healing must begin. After this, you know, after all of this, the election and all that, the healing must begin. But the healing can't fully start until some things come out so that we can heal. And this is one of the things that bothers me. It bothers me that, you know, and I want to say this the right way. It bothers me that you can vote for somebody that endorses a Confederate flag. It bothers me that you can be my pastor. Now you're my pastor. You're my shepherd. And I call you pastor and I call you shepherd not because of the color of your skin. I call you pastor and I call you shepherd because God has been giving you the words of wisdom that's been healing, the words of wisdom that's been feeding, the words of wisdom that's been guiding my life. But in this time and in this season, you are supporting somebody that has outright seen multiple murders of black men. Not just black men, but even a young black woman that was in her own house. I mean, and not only that you support it, you support him not saying anything about it. See, for me, this is not about right now about him not accepting defeat and all of that. No, I'm not there right now. I'm not there right now. And somebody got on there, they put delete them. I don't want to delete them. I need them to hear this. I have a problem because for me as a black man, and this is the thing about, this is why I got being a good black Christians. See, what a lot of you don't understand, the reason why they can't tolerate us, because some of us to them are good black Christians. See, a good black Christian is a one that doesn't have an opinion. That, watch this, it subverses or challenges them as a white or a black man. A good black Christian doesn't have an opinion, or they're not saying anything subversive. And you got to realize every time, it never fails, any time that a black man or a black woman says something about building themselves up and them community up, or says something to defend their community, it's looked at as subversive. It's looked at as if it's bad. It's looked as if, come on. And I'm wondering right now, brothers, what made you vote for this man after he sat and he went multiple places during the election and said nothing about what was going on in our community. Said nothing about sons that were murdered on video. Said nothing about our daughters that was molested by police officers. Nothing. YouTube video after YouTube video of police is just doing all kind of stuff. And we voted for him? And you telling me that you voted for him? And I'm gonna get to these white evangelicals. Yes, I am. And you voted for him? I don't understand it. Oh, you voted for him because he was pro-life. Is he really? You really think he cares about if your daughter have an abortion or not? That man don't care nothing about whether your daughter has an abortion or not. He cares nothing about it. He's pro-life. And they use these tactics to try to use our beliefs. Because contrary to what a lot of y'all think, ain't no lot of Democrats that's not pro. Oh, listen, don't nobody want to see no baby get murdered. Oh, they don't use that one. So that ain't what turns you. Maybe it was the talk of science that turned you. Because a lot of believers, when they hear science, they say, ooh, 666, ooh, science. Don't you know that science doesn't do nothing but prove the infinity of God? You can go if you do some real research and go to YouTube, they tried to use science to prove that he didn't exist. And all science did was prove that he did exist. So was that it? What is it? Because for me, I couldn't look over what was going on in my community. I couldn't get over all of these racist regimes that was rising up and walking. Y'all voted for them and rising up, and they walking with guns and they talking about what they gonna do on the website and on the internet, and they gathering up at all these places and talking about how if he don't win, what they gonna do to black people. And you voted for him? Now let's get to some of these white pastors. Now, you know what? I ain't got no problem with no white pastors that got an all-white congregation. That's your rhetoric and that's what you believe. I ain't got no problem with that. I don't, because you're being true to who you are. I rather for a racist to be true to who they are, because if a racist is true to who they are, I know who they are. They know where I stand. I know where they stand, and we can stand separately, but knowing, hey, this way you at, this way I'm at, we good. What I got a problem is when we make Jesus, we make the common denominator Jesus that says that I need to agree with you because of Jesus, but you really don't want me standing in the same place with you. Ain't it ironic? Y'all ain't gonna like me this morning, but I'm gonna say it. Ain't it ironic how that a lot of black people will follow a white pastor, but show me where a lot of white people follow a black pastor? I'm not trying to separate. I'm just stating facts. And then now there's this website. There's this app that's out that you got a lot of these pastors that y'all lift high. They come when they have a conference, you go to their conference. To you, they got the oil. Because of where we are, I'm not gonna say no name, but you need to research. A lot of these jokers that call themselves real are the same ones that were voting for Trump, but you the one filling their congregation. And if you're in the congregation and you do hear this, what I want to challenge you to do is, why don't you go ahead on and ask them why? Ask them, Pastor, why did you vote? And when they tell you all the church reasons, ask them, but I'm a black man, or I'm a black woman. Can you see how this is hurting us? Can you see what this is? Can you see how this feels to us? Because I'm sorry. You want me to talk about unborn babies when my son can be murdered tomorrow at the store because of his color? When my daughter can be jogging down the street and get stopped in her own neighborhood because she doesn't look like she belongs there? Come on. So how can we keep following white evangelicals that will hold up a man that brought the greatest separation in a presidential history? Brought the greatest separation. They held this man as God, and some even secretly right now, some of these pastors right now are still holding them up. A lot of them were angry because they kept saying God was going to put this man back in office. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with white pastors, with white congregations that wanted him to, because listen, the truth of the matter is some people will always see us like they see us, and you ain't going to be able to change that. I don't care about that. But I do care when I support you. I do care when I lift you up. I do care when I've been listening to your sermons. I do care when I've given everything. This is Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. I do care when I give all of this out. But you still saying you voting for that. If we have not been shown anything, we were shown that 1960s, our civil rights was a certain place. And we were shown that listen, I don't care who you are. And we ain't learned nothing from George Floyd. We learned that you can be murdered on video and people can still walk away. And nobody won't say anything. So for me, this ain't about Biden. This ain't about Trump. This is about white evangelicals that have black congregations that say that it's all right to vote for somebody that would just as soon see us destroyed. Make your choice. Yeah, we want to heal. We do. But it's going to take something for us to heal. This healing is going to be a process in this nation. Because what happened was, and I love the way that my wife put it, that man was used to till the ground and to uproot hidden roots and expose agendas and hearts. And what we saw as a nation of people with color is that a lot of people that we held high still didn't hold us high. I don't care if it was the Christian reasons that they held on to it. If they love us like they say they love us and are with us and are leading us, they would have chose the other way just so they can show us that they care about us. I can't see how you sit in front of a person. I can't see how you sit in front of a man. They had a man laughing in one of these excerpts, one of these white evangelicals, while he sat up there and laughed like a demon about a doggone president. He was sitting up there laughing like, but if you look at his face and look at his eyes, he looked at demonic. And when we had an Uncle Tom. Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm saying. But we still got house niggas. The house nigga mentality is always that he can see further than the other man can. He can see further than the slave, than the slave that's in the field. He can see further. He can see further because he's in the house. That's why they call him a house nigga. He's smarter than the slaves that are in the field. I know y'all ain't gonna like it. He's smarter. But what some of you house niggas got to realize is some of us choose to stay in the field because we didn't want to see the master's house survive. So yeah, you gotta say now, what is this? Yeah, I want us to heal. But we gotta be real about what we gotta be real about it. It's just Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. We gotta heal our community. That's what we gotta do. We gotta galvanize for our community. If we ain't seen nothing else, they don't care like that. Even with the presidency and everything that's coming up. With everything coming up. After a while, Biden being there, Kamala Harris being there, but they still need our help. We can't be around here like, they're in the office now. Oh God, they're in the office. No. Our time now has to come together and we got to make ourselves stronger. We have to make ourselves stronger now. Because if we ain't been shown nothing else, boy, they can turn the clock back anytime they get ready. So yeah, I want to challenge some of you ones that's in them churches, and y'all know who you is, one by one, name by name. And I'm pretty sure this gonna hit some of y'all. Am I telling you you need to lead it? Am I telling you need to lead a church? You make your own decision. But what's obvious is obvious. And what's obvious is some of that, they didn't care nothing about your color. And then they do it in secret. At least, and I can say